important message. Obesity in seniors is not just about extra weight. It's about life-threatening risks like heart disease, diabetes, joint deterioration, and even cognitive decline. In the United States, millions of seniors are living with obesity without knowing how dangerous it truly is. The good news is, food can be medicine. The right foods can help reverse and prevent it, even late in life. Obesity in seniors doesn't happen overnight. It's the slow and silent result of years of poor eating, reduced mobility, hormonal shifts, and metabolic slowdown. In the United States, the CDC reports that over 40% of adults aged 60 and older are now obese. This is more than just numbers. These are real lives affected by daily pain, limited movement, dependency on medications, and loss of dignity. Many seniors from the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia report not being able to play with their grandkids, climb stairs, or even get out of a chair without help. This level of impairment leads to depression, isolation, and further weight gain. It's a vicious cycle. But what if the answer lies in what we put on our plate? Let's talk about the first food, avocados. This is not just some trendy millennial food. Avocados are rich in healthy monounsaturated fats, which help fight belly fat and reduce inflammation in the joints. Seniors often struggle with appetite fluctuations, and avocados can help stabilize blood sugar levels. They contain fiber, potassium, and a host of nutrients that nourish aging bodies. According to research from the National Institutes of Health, in the United States, older adults who eat avocado regularly have better metabolic function and reduced visceral fat, the dangerous fat around internal organs. That fat is linked to insulin resistance, heart attacks, and even Alzheimer's. Avocados also help support bone density, a huge issue in older populations where osteoporosis and obesity often coexist. Plus, they're easy to eat, no chewing. Difficulty, easy to blend into meals, and satisfying enough to prevent cravings for sugary snacks. The second food that stands out is salmon, especially wild-caught. Salmon is loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, essential for reducing systemic inflammation, which is often high in obese seniors. Chronic inflammation is a hidden cause behind arthritis pain, memory loss, heart problems, and sluggish metabolism. Studies from American and Canadian nutrition journals show that older adults who consume fatty fish at least twice a week have significantly lower waist circumference and improved insulin sensitivity. Omega-3s also combat depression, a common co-condition in obese seniors. Imagine a senior stuck in their home, struggling with weight and mood. That person is more likely to grab ultra-processed food loaded with sugar and seed oils, but just 2 servings of wild salmon per week can rebalance the brain's chemistry and restore mood. Salmon is also packed with high-quality protein, which older adults desperately need. After age 60, we naturally lose muscle mass unless we fight to keep it. Salmon gives the amino acids needed to build lean muscle, increase metabolic rate, and support a healthy weight. Third on the list is a food most seniors wouldn't expect to be a superpower: lentils. These tiny legumes are packed with fiber, plant-based protein, folate, and iron. In the United States, lentils are underused in senior diets, which is unfortunate given how affordable and easy they are to cook. Fiber is one of the biggest missing links in the American diet, and for seniors, it's crucial. Fiber helps regulate digestion, balance hormones, and remove excess estrogen and toxins that contribute to belly fat. Studies conducted in the United Kingdom and Australia found that older adults who increased their legume intake lost more belly fat than those who didn't change anything else. Lentils have a low glycemic index, which means they don't spike blood sugar. That's essential for obese seniors at risk of type 2 diabetes. They also help you feel full, which means fewer cravings, less nighttime snacking, and a reduced reliance on sugary foods. Many seniors grew up eating meat and potatoes, but replacing just a few meat-heavy meals per week with lentil-based dishes can radically shift their metabolism and even improve cholesterol numbers within weeks. Then there's berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, all rich in antioxidants, polyphenols, and natural compounds that reduce oxidative stress. For seniors in the United States, oxidative stress is a major concern. It accelerates aging, worsens insulin resistance, and damages arteries. Berries fight all of this. Blueberries, in particular, have been studied extensively. A clinical trial in older American adults found that just 1 cup of blueberries per day improved blood sugar regulation and decreased abdominal fat. These fruits are low in calories but high in volume, which makes them perfect for seniors who need to feel full, without overloading on energy-dense foods. They also support brain health. In fact, in Canada and the United Kingdom, berries are often part of cognitive decline prevention programs for the elderly. They improve blood flow to the brain, enhance memory, and help keep the mind sharp, something every aging person fears losing. On top of that, berries satisfy the sweet tooth. Instead of cookies, donuts, or pastries, all of which lead to fat gain, a bowl of fresh berries can give a similar emotional satisfaction without harming the body. The 5th food is Greek yogurt, and not just any kind. Unsweetened, full fat. Greek yogurt. This food is loaded with probiotics, calcium, and protein. Seniors in the United States often have compromised gut health, especially after decades of antibiotics, antacids, and poor dietary choices. Greek yogurt helps restore that gut balance. The microbiome, the community of bacteria in our gut, controls inflammation, fat storage, and even how hungry we feel. Studies from American geriatric centers show that seniors who consume fermented dairy have lower BMI and better metabolic health. Greek yogurt also protects bones. It's rich in bioavailable calcium and vitamin D, 2 nutrients critical for bone density. For seniors who are overweight, the risk of falling and breaking a hip is high, and recovery at this age is slow and painful. Keeping bones strong helps prevent catastrophic injuries, but what many don't realize is that Greek yogurt also helps burn fat. The protein content supports muscle maintenance, and when eaten in the morning, it stabilizes appetite for the whole day. Canadian and Australian seniors who included yogurt in their breakfast reported fewer cravings and more energy, which leads to more movement and better weight control. And for seniors with dental issues, yogurt is soft, easy to digest, and incredibly versatile. The 6th and final food in this part is leafy greens. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard, arugula. These are nutritional powerhouses that deliver magnesium, potassium, folate, and chlorophyll. In the United States, very few seniors meet the recommended vegetable intake. Leafy greens should be eaten daily, not just for weight loss, but for disease prevention. These vegetables help detoxify the liver, reduce blood pressure, and keep insulin levels stable. That's critical because abdominal fat is often caused by high insulin and poor liver function. Greens are extremely low in calories but incredibly high in volume, which helps with satiety. They also contain nitrates, which improve blood flow and support cardiovascular health, essential in aging populations with hypertension and plaque buildup. A senior in Florida once reported that after adding a large salad with leafy greens to dinner every night, they lost 22 pounds over 6 months without any change in exercise. That's the power of consistent nutrition. Greens can be blended, sautéed, steamed, or chopped raw. They're versatile and easy to incorporate. In the United Kingdom and Australia, public health campaigns are pushing leafy greens as an anti-obesity tool in the elderly, with impressive results. The real tragedy is that many seniors in the United States live in food deserts or rely on processed meals due to mobility or financial issues. They eat what's convenient, not what's healthy. Frozen dinners loaded with sodium and sugar, canned pasta, white bread, soda. This is what fills the shelves of low-income seniors' homes. It's not that they don't want to eat better. It's that no one taught them how. Doctors rarely discuss nutrition in detail. Medicare doesn't cover enough preventive nutrition care. And by the time weight becomes a problem, it's often dismissed as just part of aging. But it's not. Obesity is not a natural part of getting older. It's a symptom of poor systems, poor food, and poor support. Seniors in Canada and the United Kingdom have voiced the same concerns. They feel abandoned when it comes to practical help for losing weight. They want to feel independent again. They want to walk without pain. They want to stop being on 6 or 7 medications. And the journey always starts with food. Would you believe that some seniors eat just 1 or 2 real meals a day, snacking the rest of the time on chips, pastries, soda, and crackers? That kind of diet leads to insulin resistance, rapid fat gain, fatigue, and mental fog. But when they switch to meals based on the 6 foods above, when their plate starts looking colorful, full of nutrients, full of natural fiber and protein, things begin to change. Their sleep improves, pain goes down, appetite becomes stable, and the scale starts moving. Not because they went on a diet, but because they started eating like their body deserved better. Seniors in Australia reported dramatic drops in medication, used just by eating anti-inflammatory foods. In the United States, some seniors were able to reverse prediabetes entirely just from these nutritional shifts. But the truth is, these 6 foods alone won't change everything unless they are supported by what's not on the plate. The environment around food is just as important. When seniors in the United States live alone, eat in silence, or rely on drive-through meals because of mobility or fatigue, even the best intentions fall apart. The emotional connection to food becomes even more complex with age. Many older adults eat for comfort, out of habit, boredom, or even grief. Their spouses pass away, they lose social interaction, and eating becomes a way to cope, not to nourish. That's why education and emotional support are vital. In Canada, several community centers are running group cooking classes for seniors, where they learn to cook with lentils, salmon, and leafy greens in budget-friendly ways. The social interaction alone leads to better adherence, less emotional eating, and more joy around food. And that emotional lift matters, because loneliness and depression are major drivers of obesity in older populations. Another crucial factor is protein. As the metabolism slows down with age, protein becomes the engine that keeps fat-burning machinery alive. Yet surveys from the United States show that seniors rarely meet their daily protein needs, often relying instead on low-nutrient, high-carb meals like toast, cereal, crackers, or mashed potatoes. This leads to rapid muscle loss, known as sarcopenia, which in turn causes mobility issues, higher fall risk, and even greater weight gain. Greek yogurt, salmon, lentils all provide the kind of protein the aging body needs to retain lean muscle. Some geriatric dietitians recommend 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight for seniors aiming to prevent obesity and stay functional. This is especially important for seniors in the United Kingdom and Australia, where muscle preservation is now a top health priority in public aging programs. Protein also reduces cravings, and it stabilizes blood sugar, both of which are necessary to stop the cycle of late-night snacking or binge eating, a common pattern in obese seniors. It's also time to be brutally honest about the danger of ultra-processed foods. These are everywhere in the United States. Prepackaged meals, frozen snacks, cereals, cookies, and sodas that are loaded with high-fructose corn syrup, inflammatory seed oils, artificial preservatives, and refined carbohydrates. These foods hijack the body's hunger signals, spike insulin, and promote fat storage. For seniors, the consequences are even worse. These foods increase joint inflammation, cognitive decline, and risk of stroke. In one American case, a 72-year-old man with severe arthritis and obesity saw complete reversal in knee pain and lost over 30 pounds after eliminating processed foods and eating whole foods, including the 6 foods mentioned earlier. He went from barely walking with a cane to walking a mile daily in under 6 months. This isn't about dieting. This is about reclaiming life. Seniors in Canada have similar stories. After switching from sugary drinks to water and increasing berries and avocado, some lost inches off their waist and needed fewer medications for hypertension. Hydration is another overlooked factor. Dehydration slows metabolism and triggers false hunger signals. Many seniors, especially in hot regions of the United States like Arizona or Florida, drink far too little water. They may not feel thirst the same way anymore, or they avoid water to reduce bathroom trips. But this leads to constant fatigue, poor digestion, and increased appetite. A glass of water before meals can reduce calorie intake and improve satiety. And when combined with fiber-rich foods like berries, lentils, and greens, hydration helps with regular bowel movements and toxin elimination, both of which aid weight loss. Portion control also matters, but not the way we think. Telling seniors to eat less is not just unhelpful, it's harmful. They need to eat more of the right things, not less of everything. A bowl of greens with olive oil, a serving of wild salmon, half an avocado, and a few berries on the side can be a large, satisfying meal and still support fat loss. Seniors in Australia have been using this plate model successfully in weight loss interventions. It prevents nutrient deficiencies while still creating a calorie deficit. The old school advice of eat small portions and skip meals simply does not work for obese seniors. It backfires, slows the metabolism further, and leads to binge episodes. Eating real food, in satisfying amounts, retrains the brain and body to stop holding on to fat as a survival mechanism. Sleep and stress cannot be ignored either. In the United States, chronic stress from healthcare bills, isolation, or chronic pain causes cortisol levels to skyrocket. Cortisol is a fat storage hormone, especially around the midsection. Seniors often report sleeping poorly, waking up multiple times per night, or struggling with insomnia. This disrupts hunger hormones, increases appetite for sugar, and causes weight gain. Foods like salmon and yogurt, which contain tryptophan and magnesium, help promote deeper sleep. Berries help regulate cortisol. Seniors who start eating better often report sleeping more soundly, and that change alone can unlock fat loss. In fact, a senior nutritionist from Canada once said, "Before focusing on the gym, fix their dinner and fix their sleep." We also need to discuss the importance of movement, but in the right context. Most obese seniors aren't going to do CrossFit or run marathons, and they shouldn't be expected to. But even walking after meals, doing seated resistance bands, or using light hand weights can make a profound difference. Movement builds muscle, reduces insulin, and improves mental health. However, it becomes easier when the right foods fuel the body. Seniors in the United Kingdom who paired Greek yogurt breakfasts and a short morning walk saw fat loss without dieting. The food gave them energy. The walk improved insulin sensitivity. This is the cycle that needs to be created. Not deprivation, but activation. Even mindset matters. Many seniors in the United States have been told by their doctors or family that it's too late to change. That weight loss isn't worth the effort. That old age means pills and pain and disability. But this is false, and it's dangerous. Seniors in their 70s and 80s have reversed diabetes, come off blood pressure meds, restored mobility, and regained independence just by consistently eating the right foods, one meal at a time. The stories exist, but they are buried under pharmaceutical marketing and the myth that aging means decline. Eating well is not about six-pack abs or fitting into skinny jeans. It's about standing up without pain, about living without insulin injections, about walking without fear of falling, about being able to pick up your grandchild without your knees buckling. And it starts with 6 simple foods: avocados, salmon, lentils, berries, Greek yogurt, and leafy greens. What seniors eat today decides how mobile, how alert, and how independent they will be next year. Every single bite is a choice, toward life or toward decline. This is not about shame, it's about power. Even after decades of poor eating, change is not only possible, it's faster than you think. In one study conducted in the United States, obese seniors who changed just 30% of their diet to whole foods lost more than 10% of their body weight in under 4 months. That's not a small number. That's reduced blood pressure,